Hi, this is Baxi. Thanks for watching. And I have a good friend here. I've known him for a long, long, long time. He's an expert in his department. He has lots of years of experience, and he's going to share his wisdom about the mortgage industry. So please welcome my good friend, Burney Ashley.
Thank you, Manish. Appreciate you having me.
Thank you very much. I know we couldn't have your wife here today, but I'm sure in the future we'll have an opportunity for her to share her opportunity of sharing all the information as well. So, Burney, I've known you for a long time, and you've been in the mortgage and real estate business for a while. So can you just give a little bit of your background before I ask some questions related to the mortgage business itself?
Well, I jumped into mortgage banking in 1990. Previously, I had been a real estate broker for a decade before that. Started in the industry in 1980. We actually spent 10 years running our own branch, where we actually did the entire operations from the beginning to the end, including closing, underwriting, processing, the work. So it was a very good experience, and just learning the whole, from beginning to start was very eye-opening.
Interesting. So obviously you've seen a lot of changes in the industry, right?
Oh, my goodness.
You've seen the ups, downs, the licensing, not licensing, refi, no refi, and all that kind of stuff.
No internet.
Yeah, no internet. Yes,
Yeah.
I agree with you. Correct. So let me ask a simple question. A lot of people who are buying a home for the first time or otherwise either, people should go through pre-approval process. That's what is normally told. What is your opinion? Give me a little bit of information so our viewers can understand.
Well, first of all, today, if you're going to buy a house, it's pretty much mandatory. No agent is going to recommend that their seller take a house off the market for an if-come situation. They want to know this guy is going to actually be able to close on the home. Frankly, I think, you shouldn't even need that kind of pressure. Most people are waiting to that period before they show up to find out if they qualify. And that, to me, that's backwards.
Okay.
Why wouldn't you want to know what you qualify for and then go find it?
Correct.
Instead of finding a home and then risking the potential that you won't even qualify for that home. Makes no sense. But like I say, most people are going to do it that way. And the pre-approvals themselves come in many forms.
Okay.
This fast and furious stuff, the rocket approvals, and everybody's got their own rocket approval today. Problem with that one is it doesn't guarantee any certainty. I mean, you're going to go in there, you're going to answer some questions the best you know how. And realistically, the layman has no idea how I do business. So they're going to put in answers that they feel are correct and, wait for a computer algorithm to give them a pass. Oftentimes, those things have issues. In fact, I was on Facebook today with a group of realtors who were covering that situation. How many times do these things go bad? The customer comes in, they got the pre-approval in hand. A week before closing, the whole thing falls apart.
Wow, that would be very disappointing.
And the reason it falls apart is because they're just relying on the information the layman put in. And then at the end of the process, they're going to take everything to the underwriter for them to sort it out. Now, we do a little bit of different process where we actually we'll start with the rocket mortgage. You run in there, you pop in all your information like everywhere else. But
Correct.
The difference is I'm gonna take that thing apart. I'm going to look at that information. I'm going to ask you for documents. I'm going to compare those documents to what I have on file and basically underwrite it in advance so that when you get a pre-approval from us, there's going to be...
It's good to go, basically.
Unless something changes on your end.
Correct.
Your finances change, you have a financial hiccup or something in
or
between.
you ended up buying a car that you were not supposed to buy.
Lose your job,
Sure.
Things that are like that we can't control.
But the pre-approval eases the mind of the person to say, I know, I have qualified, I'm capable of buying the house that I really am interested in because now I have used those parameters to do that. Let's jump to the second question, because some people can say, hey, buying a house, going through the mortgage process can be extremely confusing. How do I really know that I'm getting the best deal possible?
Boy, that's a good question. Truth is, if you're not in my business, you'll never really know. And the more time you spend on the internet, the less you're going to know. A lot of people are relying on the internet to provide them the answers. And the truth is, the internet is not there to provide answers. They're there to provide leads. So whether it's a lender or a third party, the reason they're online is to develop leads. So a lot of times the information you're getting is half-baked or just missing a lot of content. And that's where people go wrong. I mean, you can see three identical quotes on the internet from three different places, and you have to assume that means they all have the same circumstances, but it's not apples to apples often. Actually, the law does comply those people to give you all the circumstances under which that rate's going to, but that's not going to be right up there, where you can see it right away. You're going to have to go search for that.
Well, obviously, most of this information which is available on the internet, like you said, there are sponsors behind the scenes who are paying to get the lead.
Right.
And their goal is that, hey, once you come there, then they pretty much want your business, which is understandable enough. But because the average consumer isn't aware of some of the criteria that might be used in order to actually get them approved, qualified, and all the kind of stuff, they also may not be able to measure between two or compare between two opportunities because they don't know enough to do that.
Correct.
And so how would somebody working with you that you can say, hey, they're definitely getting the best option possible in the situation of the interest of the consumer?
I would say rely on a good referral.
Good. Somebody they can trust, right? A
Yeah.
real estate agent versus the advertisement on the internet.
Yeah, you want to find a real estate agent, maybe a mortgage professional you've used in the past, because the truth is, unless you're going to spend a lot of time researching, you're not going to get the straight answers you're looking for.
I agree with you.
You're just better off finding somebody that you trust and then asking them, because at the end of the day, the people that are trying to outsmart us are actually getting the worst deal. I looked at a loan estimate a couple of weeks ago where this customer thought they were getting an excellent deal. What they didn't realize was it's a $400,000 deal with 2 points in it, which means this customer was paying $8,000 to get that rate. Well, to me, that's not a great deal. If you got to put that kind of money into it, how great of a deal is that? If they would have realized and compared to that rate to the slightly higher rate that they could have got without the additional funds, over the long haul, they would have been better off, especially if they end up, moving again, refinancing, or anything changed. That $8,000 goes up in smoke.
Interesting. And again, I think the part that you are trying to tell, and I want people to understand this, is because you are in the local market. You have realtors referring you business. If you don't end up helping the customers and the realtor feeling satisfied, the realtor isn't going to give you more business,
Correct.
right? And if you don't do a good job with that client isn't going to tell other people the positives about you. They might even share negative things about you.
Right.
So you end up losing in the long run. And in your best interest, if you want repeat business, if you want referral business, then you are going to be doing the best to help that client. Is that correct in my understanding?
That's exactly correct.
And I know, just as a side point, I know you do a great job of building relationship with realtors, and you have events for realtors on a regular basis as well. So those who are watching, if you are a real estate agent and you are looking to be surrounded by some other positive realtors, get some good information, then they can contact you about events coming up that you are hosting. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go to one simple question which I think people have. Is like, okay, there are so many lenders, right? How do I know the lender I'm working with is the best lender for me?
Well, that's another trick question, really.
Is it? Okay.
Like you say, there's all kinds of lenders. Your circumstances are going to make a big difference.
Okay. Tell me more.
The truth is, there are some people out there that are just so qualified that it wouldn't really matter what door they walked in. They probably would end up coming out the other end with the same experience.
Okay.
On the other hand, if you happen to be a person whose life is not so perfect,
Correct.
then going to the wrong lender could offer you a lot of stress and you might not close. A lot of them are kind of assembly line, the way they operate. It's just boom, boom, boom.
Correct.
One piece at a time. They get to the end. Nobody's looking to see if there are any what would you call it, abnormalities that have to be dealt with. So by the time it's dealt with, it's too late, and the situation goes bad. Again, I have to go back to my original suggestion. What you need to do is to get a good referral from somebody that can tell you. I went and saw Burney, and he did just an amazing job. He ironed out all the kinks, got me to the closing. It could have been a real disaster, but it wasn't. Because other than that, like I say, the layman out there, unless you're going to spend months online researching every smidget of information available, you're not ever going to be able to make that decision.
And I think that's absolutely true, because everybody, if you talk to them, they're going to say, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best. Who's going to say, hey, I'm not the best, right? Nobody's going to tell you that, right?
Exactly.
And everybody's going to say, I'm the best, I have the best customer service, I get things done on time, na-na-na. Everybody's going to do that. But like you said, if you have experience with somebody, if you have a relationship with somebody, now you are more aware of what you're going to expect than with somebody just you have no idea what you're going to be dealing with. Now, just a couple of points, if you don't mind me bringing about you. I know you have a music background. I know you have science fiction background. Am I right about any of those two?
Yes.
So tell me, before we wrap up, that people know about you as a personal side.
Okay. Well, actually, the music side is mostly my wife.
Okay.
I've been involved enough to, she is both a songwriter and a singer.
Wow.
So she's collaborated with a few different bands.
Okay.
Made some rock and roll music, and
okay.
We published it, and Gen Records. My end was the sales, of course, getting it out, getting it played, getting it sold. As far as science fiction, that's my second love, really. I love science, and I always think about how it's going to apply, how the world is changing, the technology. What's that going to look like 20, 30, 40 years from now? And it just totally amazes me. And the first thing I want to do is, get it on paper.
Absolutely. And you have written a book, or?
Yes, I have. Right now I've been working on screenplays. So that's
screenplay.
My latest is, instead of writing the book and then having it made the movie, I figure I'll just go
to the movie, right? Go directly to
right?
the movie. So I would like our viewers to know how to get hold of you. So could you tell us how to get hold of you?
Sure. Best way to get a hold of me is my direct line, which is 586-484-5058. I will always be there to answer, and if I don't, you'll get a call back within a few hours.
Well, I think I really appreciate you coming, Burney. Thanks for taking the opportunity. I know it was a pretty rush for you to be here today. You still made time. And despite all the construction and other stuff, headaches that you had to go through, thanks again for taking the time. I love your friendship. You're a great guy. You're somebody I know is loyal and a sincere kind of person. Thanks, Burney.
I appreciate inviting me. Thanks.
You're welcome. Say hi to Rosemary.